Hello, everyone who missed me. I wonder how many of you noticed that I took like a 5 week sabbatical from podcasts earlier this year. I wonder if you noticed I came back after 5 weeks, did one podcast, and then left again for two. I just did. I'm full of renewed excitement and energy from what I have been going through, and I want to bring that to you. I'm happy to announce I have had some major breakthroughs in ways I didn't even know were possible. And I'm bringing all this to you, so stay tuned because I'm a whole new me. I was put through some of what people would consider major things. Things that drained me, things that robbed my mind, things that I felt like came out of nowhere and blindsided me, things I had never dealt with before. And I guess it metaphorically tipped me over. And I wasn't myself for a while. And it was because I didn't know myself in those situations. And I want to talk to you today about that. I wanted to be a put together version, and I didn't have access because of what was going on around me. I want you to look back when you're put in extreme situations. I'm talking like situations where you feel so heavy you think you're not going to make it through, like a life crushing pain. Have you guys ever experienced anything like this? I only have a few times in my life. Most of the time, there's something inside that says, I'm a religious person and I'm a woman of faith. So there's something inside that says, I trust in God and, I believe in Jesus Christ and his healing powers. And as such, like that makes all the difference for me and I can lean on that. But even still, there's a depth of hopelessness or despair that comes over us. And I had reached it and it felt like the wind was taken out of my sail. It felt unprotected. I felt unprotected. I couldn't see my options. I didn't know what was available to me in the moment. And while I was going through this, it felt like I was most threatened. It felt like I had reason to run and hide. And it was not fun and it was not playful times. Nothing lighthearted could be found, right? This was just like the depths of sorrow. And we can all relate to this, right? We know we're not our true self. We know we're struggling. We know there's something big happening. And when this happens, it shakes us. It shakes our core. It shakes our foundation. It shakes our ability to process what's real and what's not. And it helps us. I say helps because questioning everything does help. It helps us question things and find more answers. We receive information differently in these moments, and disconnection is kind of sneaky at this point, and it comes in lots of different forms. It sounds like heavy and dark, but I want to talk to you about how you can bring play, how you can remember how to play, how you can know there's light and lightheartedness on the other side of all these things. Because disconnection feels like defensiveness. It feels like you've got your guard up. It feels like you're ready for a fight, that the threat is imminent, and it comes in the form of these things, all sorts of things. I'll just name a few: hurt relationships, family issues, illness, children, aging parents, finances, humiliation, shame. Sometimes nothing needs to happen on the outside. We're just ashamed of what we're doing ourselves. Resentments. And just generally, it's something that's holding you back because it holds you. It has all of your attention, regardless of what it is. Sometimes it's not these big things. Sometimes it's just a little thing that happens annoyingly all the time, and it holds us. We have a mental grip on it so big. And I want to talk to you about undoing and how we can solve for this disconnection issues at the root of where it comes from. Because when connection emerges, it instantly feels better. I think we feel stuck and we get stuck in the same mental processes that hold us and the same focus that grows. And we don't want that disconnection to grow and expand and consume us. We want to get back into connection, which really is disconnected and faith is connected. I'm not talking about getting rid of the issue altogether. I'm talking about how we solve for the disconnect that happens when we're in an issue. And this is pretty exciting work for me, to have come full circle on and to have observed myself through. Because when we find the connection, even in the dark moments, it lifts this heaviness from our body, and we no longer identify or make it mean horrible things, what we're going through. We're left with more energy than can be explained. And I didn't know it was possible to ignite such energy when we ditch the shame, when we stop hiding, when we let go of the upsetness that we have. We should be upset about this thing. When we let all of that go, it instantly begin to heal. Even if it's still happening and nothing has stopped, nothing around you is letting up, it still has a lighter feel to it. I can't tell you enough how important it is. When we ditch so I'm going to say it again in a different way. When we ditch the mental tight grip on how upset we must be about this, and go to my comforts and ignore what's happening, or I instantly bring shame to myself for having a life like this, or having reacted like this, or I hate this so much, I wish it were some other way. When you see yourself going to those places that double down and add pressure to yourself, just like those things I mentioned, we're smart enough and we know ourselves well enough. We know exactly what's going to happen because we've done it so many times. And this is where you always have the choice to instead release that mental grip of now hurting yourself by doubling down. And I say that because maybe we don't exercise, we don't eat right, we just give in to this other way of being. We dismiss and abandon our own needs because we are so suppressed by this hurt and this sadness, right? We're hurting ourselves in a way we think we have to, instead of knowing that some of the options that we have in that moment are extract wisdom from it as we are in it. Feel the pain, feel the hurt, and all of that's going to happen. But in the long run, you know you have an inner strength that gets over this. And instead of becoming so self-harming, you tap into this energy from your future self that knows it's okay. That resilience can happen in that moment. You don't have to go through your whole routine. You do have to bring it along with you and feel it. There are some processing of emotions that need to happen, but you could access that inner strength that you know you have as you experience these worst emotions and worst case scenarios. When you observe it happening, instead of being in it, it creates lots of space for anything to happen. And by decreasing the urgency you have to get out of or ignore or react, you increase your use of agency. I promise you, it sounds heavy and it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not heavy. It's actually very light. Some of us are really afraid of challenges. So this might not be something you have access to for a while. This is just a little seed I'm going to plant that you do have options. And it depends on how you may be thinking about your struggles that you go through. Maybe some of you have a lot of shame around failure. Like, I can't be wrong. And there's a lot of heaviness. There's a lot of heartbreak, discouragement, disappointment. And maybe inside yourself, you don't feel like you're capable. But I want to promise you that it's an option. Anything you feel and think that may be adding to the suppression of your light, really, the holding back of your ability to shine brighter and be bigger, you can become capable at any point in your life, no matter what the circumstance is, if you decide you can be your biggest self. And I hope this makes sense to you, because this specific storm that happened in my life, I will say I have been a better mom, a better business owner, a better leader, a better daughter, a better sister, a better friend, a better coach. And it has been clearly shown to me the difference between flying and falling. I have become aware of how unattached I can be to whether things work out the way I want or not. And whether I think that life is working for me or not. And what I've found on is that there is so much freedom, more freedom than I have ever known. And again, I'm a religious person. I compare this to the greatest faith that I've ever known, where I'm overjoyed with all of my experiences, and I don't mind putting myself out there. I also don't mind playing more often, finding more reasons to laugh, love, enjoy, smile, tapping into more gratitude instead of just seeing the awful destruction, suppression, and adding all of this in my mind to my focus of those things that need to be corrected and those fears that I have. I'm running more on a faith-driven level than a fear-driven level, and it has increased my life in so many ways. One of my favorite ways is like little things. I've been more present in the moment. I breathe deeper. I close my eyes in gratitude for feeling this anxiety in my body, almost like an appreciation for the anxiety, because it guides me to know what disturbances I have and what thoughts I'm thinking that bring up the anxiety that just need attention. And then I go take care of it. There's a confidence in it. And what I'm finding is as I challenge myself more, so I just go to it and I don't have the mind drama around it, because the mind drama is what hurts us so bad. I love pushing up against the lid of my strength. I'm willingly and acceptingly bringing on the things that strengthen. I'm leaning into those things. And I love being able to go play hard in various activities. I love the times that things come up in my life that require a certain level of, and I can do them. It will be useful. So it's not burdensome to me because of the way I frame it in my mind. And I've coached for years now, and there's nothing that my clients have brought to me that I haven't already solved for or been through some sort of version of that. So I have a lot of confidence in taking someone through really anything that is happening. There's some sort of a nuance that I've dealt with. And I firmly believe that there's a tremendously big amount of energizing payoff for overcoming these moments and stepping into a lighter, more rejuvenated energy that ignites more fun and enjoyment in really every situation. And again, it's that confidence, it's that leaning on faith. It's not going to those adjectives and adverbs and all the drama we make our stories. This is the fuel that you need to be fun again, to lighten up and not take everything so seriously. When you can just feel alive and engaged, regardless of what's happening around you, you can make the feeling and experience you have inside your body and inside your mind circumstance proof, not situational. So that engage and alive are when things are going well and when they aren't going well. All versions of you are able to be embraced by you. And we don't get, when we get messy and when we get dysfunctional, we don't add other layers to it by saying we shouldn't be messy and we shouldn't be dysfunctional. Comparing what's happening now to some ideal situation, there's a lot of pain in that gap. So I don't go there as often. And when I get withdrawn and messy, I relieve myself of the pressure that I used to put on myself, because that's what actually was putting me into places where I couldn't show up in my own life. When you have the support for yourself inside that comes up when you need it most, instead of that suppression, like supportive thoughts instead of suppressive thoughts, that's the difference. And it's most simply put, tapping into what is faith and not letting our fears run and take over. Faith helps you stay in the game and stay connected with a purpose, and fear connects us and sends us into survival mode, right? It disengages us from our true self. And this new version of us behaves in higher ways. Disconnection thinks and behaves in lesser ways. And I want to offer to you that every moment is a moment that you get to decide. Even the lowest, darkest moments, no matter what, you have a choice. Whether your story is about an obstacle or an opportunity is up to you. And a chance for freedom or suppression is up to you. Doing something new or the same old thing is yours for the taking. So be who you really are, truly, your higher self and your higher way of thinking, or sink into being down and stuck. I'm telling you, it's a choice. I know people are like, nah, because this thing's happening. I don't have a choice. It's not true. What will you decide to bring into your life? One of the key takeaways here is that fun and faith are the antidote for disconnection and fear. So if you schedule things into your calendar on purpose and you invite others to join you, and they do or not, based on whether they let themselves or not, just like you're allowing yourself to have fun or not at any given moment, whether they do come or not, you can reach inside to your child self and that enthusiasm for life, and you can be the antidote for all the pain in your life, and you can go play. Playfulness, did you know it's best described as childlike creativity combined with your intelligence, your current intelligence? So a 5-year-old plays in a way that their current intelligence gets creative. So if you're 40, 35, 55, doesn't matter. Your current intelligence in a childlike state lets you, in your creativity, that's play for you. And it changes throughout your life. So what is playfulness for you? It's agency to choose where you go with it. Your mind is in charge of every story you create. You're meant to be in charge of your mind. We are agents unto ourselves. And after all, our minds are the most important and powerful tool that we have. So never underestimate what can. After all, our mind is the most powerful and important instrument that we have. Never underestimate it, not even for 1 second. Don't believe that it's not up to you, because it is. It's not up to what happens around you. What goes on inside is the single most important thing. So from breakdown to breakthrough, how disconnection can lead you to deeper connection. Let's go. If you wonder what this looks like in your life, or if you thought of anyone while you were listening to this, please share it with them, because that is how the heavens reach us for what we need next. And get on a call with me to see what this looks like. Go to connect.elisamortensen.com or any of my social media to be in touch, and I can help you know your next best move for your situation. It's custom to what you need. All right, we'll talk to you next time. Bye.